Hi, my name is Latasha Martin, and I am the founder and CEO of Bondspy Solutions. We work with our clients and we partner with them so that they can understand what is important to them when it comes to career development, or as a business leader, what are some of your key business priorities? And then we work with you to make sure you have the right team under the right terms right now, as soon as possible by working with us. So today's topic that I wanted to talk to you about was, can bosses burn bridges? Now, I know many of you, at least I know I've always been told to never burn bridges. I've also been told that people join organizations, but they leave people. And sometimes I think that in my experience as a consultant, when I'm working with business leaders, often they feel like when the bridge is burned, it's not really them. It's not really the company. Something happened with that individual. And what I want to share with you today are things that I know for sure, because after working with many business leaders from organizations that may have had less than 50 employees to organizations that has had several thousands or hundreds of thousands of employees, that there's three concepts that are really important when you think of your role as a business leader, a boss, a business owner, that can really help keep your people engaged. And so when I talk about them, they may seem a little fuzzy at first, but what I want to encourage you to do is listen to this and then ask yourself, how could this apply to me? So the three concepts when I'm working or I'm coaching with a business leader or a small business owner is there's three factors when it comes to employee engagement and also retention, and really making sure you understand the voice of your customer, which is your internal clients, which is just as important, if not more important, than your external clients. And that is what goes on with the heart, the hands, and the head. Now, typically, when I've heard that statement used before, people will use it with a lot of fuzzy language. But today, what I want to encourage you to do is think about these three concepts on how they apply in the workplace, specifically for the teams that you either influence or directly manage. So let's start with the heart. The heart is the heartbeat or the company culture. It's the things that you'll hear people referring to as the vision and the mission when people talk about it from a stage or they're talking about their business. But if I was to come inside of your business and come inside those four walls, what I'd like to know is, does your heart align by your behavior, which is your head and hands, with how you treat people every single day, or the choices that you make as a business owner or a business leader? Recently, I had a conversation with someone on my team, and they were extremely, I don't want to use the word excited, but they were excited, but it was an excitement that was kind of odd to me. Because as a business owner, it has always been really important for me to make sure that my heart lines up with the vision that I have written around the walls in my organization. And so when it comes to matters of the heart, I make sure that my hands and my head are in alignment with that. So let's transition from the heart space to what happens with your head and your hands. Now, your head is the logical side. It's how you make decisions every single day about your business. So for example, if one of your goals is that you want to reduce costs, one thing that I've made to make sure as a non-negotiable in my business is when I'm making decisions and reducing costs, it never really leads to or aligns with things that could impact the quality of life for my team or for the quality of life of my clients that are outside of my organization. So how does that line up? I remember recently having a conversation with some business consultants, and they were advising me on some of the benefits and the opportunities that I wanted to provide for my team. And they were like, Latasha, that's crazy. I don't even know how you can sustain that. But so far, as my organization has grown, I've seen where it's really worked out. So let's go back to that employee that came to me with these mixed emotions. She was thanking me profusely for having good benefits or healthcare benefits, which was kind of odd to me because I am still a fairly small business. But then I started to ask myself, as I was looking at providers and I was having conversations about the cost of the investment in what does it mean to show my employees with tangible things such as employee benefits, employee opportunities for growth and leadership, and opportunities to feel like they're a partner with me, because I know that their success leads to the success of the organization. And what I recognize as I've been listening or thinking about some of the decisions that business owners have to make is maybe they're not making decisions when it comes to some of the things that their choices they're making in the workplace, when it comes to the heart lining up with the head and the hands. They may be just looking at what's the best thing for our bottom line. Now, what sometimes our individual contributors don't understand is that we need to look at our bottom line. We need to make sure that our head and our hands, and when I'm saying our hands, I mean our behaviors, are all lining up. And they may not understand some of the bigger decisions that you have to make in the background, that they're not privy to all that information. But one of the things that I'm learning, both with my team, as well as when I work with companies that seem to have it right, and when I say have it right, they have a team of employees that work with them and do as much, if not more sometimes, than what they think the business owner would even do to just do the right thing, both when they come to work, as well as how they support their customers. The second piece is, when we're talking about the hands and the head, there might be people who are out there having conversations, and I've actually seen it. They're having a conversation about the company culture that they believe that they have. And then when I've had an opportunity to talk to their employees, unfortunately, there was not an alignment there. So that's one of those opportunities where you're saying there's not a connection between your heart, your head, and your hands. And so then there's the final piece. What are we doing with our hands? What are the behaviors that we're demonstrating as we talk to our employees? Whether it's time for performance reviews, sometimes the best conversations are those difficult conversations that what I find our managers are often trying to avoid when someone's not performing to a certain level. They're not showing up and they don't seem to believe that they're engaged anymore. There's some missing pieces there. And so instead of making sure that if their culture says that we are a company that believes in communication and we want to do the right thing for our teams, and they're avoiding those conversations, again, that is a conflict. It means that what you're saying out of your mouth and you had intentions in your heart are not showing up either in your behavior on how you're showing up every day, or in your headspace when you're making logical decisions that might make sense for your business but cannot be making sense to your people. So I just want to leave you with these 3 tips today. If you want to be a more effective manager, you want to make sure you have a bigger impact on your people, you want to grow a company and shift your company culture where people are not just having conversations about you, they're having conversations with you. You want to make sure that there is a pure alignment between your heart, your hands, and your head. How do we do that? You can find out more by looking and connecting with us. We can partner with you and walk you through some of those conversations on where you may be having some misalignments in that space. Because I know there's one more thing that I've been told all my life, which is you don't know what you don't know, but it's not an excuse not to do the right thing. So this is Latasha Martin, owner and founder of VonSpice Solutions. You can check us out online and on social media at Latasha115959, and we look forward to partnering with you today.